Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC, out in the woods in the beautiful kingdom of the Moorlands, talking again about a bag. Now this is different because instead of being on my back, I suppose it's still, strictly speaking, it's on my back, but it's on my lower waist here. So what we're here today to have a look at is the Helikon-Tex Foxtrot Mark II. Now, for clarity, this is the Mark II. If I refer to it as the Foxtrot from now on, that's just because I forgot to mention the Mark II side. The Foxtrot Mark II is the first of the two of these that I have any experience of. I haven't used the Foxtrot Mark I. This is my first introduction to the Foxtrot family. So yeah, there you go, just in case. Now of course we will go through some kind of features of this, but kind of start off with it's a little bit different, and I've thoroughly enjoyed using this. I know I probably would add this to the end, but I feel as though I should mention it at the beginning. I have genuinely enjoyed using this. I've used this out whilst walking, and I've also used this whilst playing some airsoft. It's not designed for airsoft because this is part of their it's part of their bushcraft kind of range. But last year I got into military belt kit a little bit more, and wearing this in conjunction with a lightweight plate carrier was actually really enjoyable for the day. I just had on my magazines on the front that I needed, and then all of the other gumph that would be on your cummerbund and all that sort of stuff that's all around, just had here in the back, and I just felt a little bit of kind of extra freedom. So yeah, that's kind of a weird slant on it, but getting back to the main use for this, it's designed for you to get out and about. Instead of having to take off a rucksack to get into stuff, it's all just here. You just get access to it straight away. And it is very, very good at that. Plus, of course, if you want to take out a backpack, I wouldn't say anything more than, say, probably a 25-litre one, mainly from where this sits. You can put your backpack on where you've got all of your stuff, but you can still keep your easy access stuff here at the back as well. This is compatible with the Alice system, so if you have an Alice pack and some of the other stuff that would kind of work with this, although I haven't tested its compatibility with that, I'm sure there's people that are watching this that may have done that. So if you have an Alice pack and you have this and you've got some experience in how well they've worked together, I'd certainly love to hear down in the comments below on how you've made those work. Now, as always, let's turn the camera around. Let's take a closer look at the Helikon-Tex Foxtrot Mark II. Now, as we normally do, I'll go through some measurements as well. So we'll talk about capacity beforehand, some materials, and then we'll have a look around the features of the Foxtrot itself. As far as capacity is concerned, this comes at roughly about 6 litres. Now, I will say, if you do the maths is roughly about 6 litres, and I'll leave the exact measurements down here. However, it feels a little bit bigger than 6 litres. I think that's because you've got these two side pockets where you can put your water bottles in here. It probably gives it the illusion that it's a much larger pack, and the stuff that you can fit into here, again, it just feels a little bit more than 6 litres, but you know, it is what it is. You often get packs that feel a little bit larger, a little bit smaller. Materials wise, what you expect from Helikon-Tex, they don't scrimp on materials. It's why I really do love the products that they make there. So as far as the main material throughout this is made with a 500D Cordura. Colours wise, this is available in multiple different colours. You've got different flat colours, you have different camos with this. It is part of their bushcraft line, which was why you'll probably find that the colours are more flat colours. I'm trying to think what camos they do have, but they might literally just be like multicam and Polish woodland, but mainly it's designed for that bushcraft look, which is why you get a lot of these kind of flat colours on here. Your zips on here, these are all YKK zips. In fact, I'm just trying to think how many zips there are. There's mainly just this big one. There's another little, I think there's a little pocket on the inside. But yeah, these ones on the outside, huge, beefy number 10 YKK zips. They all have some 550 paracord on there. Your buckles on here, so you have some buckles on the sides, you have some buckles, and of course for the suspension system, you have some buckles on there as well. They're all Woojin buckles. You got some, what's this buddy? What is it? It's Velcro, it's hook and loop on the front. Yeah, it's really nice. As far as the weight of it's concerned, when it's empty, it comes in, I think it was 680 grams, so it's not even a kilo. When it's packed, obviously, completely depends on what you got in here as how heavy it is. Now, going through the features, I think what I'll do is I'll start on the side with these two large water bottles, water bottle pockets, because this is kind of the main thing that you will be using this for, and how useful it is to have these on here. So I've tried to give some good examples of what you can fit in. So if I just take this out, so this is a what is this? Is it a 1 litre? I always forget. I think this is a 1 litre. This is a 1 litre Yeti bottle. Now, your pocket on the side here, this is designed specifically mainly for those kind of water bottle size ones, like you get on a bike. So you put it in, and then this bit you can then you can put this over the top. But that doesn't mean that you can't still put these large ones in. Now this, as far as 1 litre is concerned, is a very tall 1 litre one. If you have one of the Nalgene ones that are probably just that extra little bit shorter and a little bit wider, those 1 litre Nalgene bottles aren't going to fit into this. If it's a 750 millilitre one, that probably will do. But with these larger ones, what you can do is, this cinching bit that you don't need because it won't go over it, put that in there, put the bottle in, and then on the top here you've got some more bungee. So instead of using this bit, take your bungee from here and loop it round there and then pull it in tight. And I've done some decent walks. I've done some walks through the moorlands where I've been climbing over a lot of rocks and crap and stuff. This hasn't come out. It's been great because I've used this bungee to keep it in place. Now on the flip side, I've got probably what this is more designed for. This is what size is this? This is a 473, so I call that 500 millilitres. You can put that here on the side, fits in no issues, and then your little side part, you can then get this round it and over the top. Now, I will say with this one, just make sure you pull it that extra little bit more tighter, because really this is designed to go over the spout of the bottle to stop it from coming out. But if you lift it up and get it on this lip, it's a bit of a balancing act. Or did I do it this way? I think that was it. You put it on that lip there and then lift this up, and then that will keep it in place as well, and it'll kind of pull it so that it's in there. But yeah, these are awesome. I will say there's a learning curve when you've got this stuck to your butt and you're trying to put the bottles in here, because what happens is you try and get them in through this bungee. So the best thing to do is just make sure that this bungee is out of the way, put your bottle in there, and then use the bungee to batten it down once it's in. You will struggle, you will swear at it, but once you've done it, say 4 or 5 times, you just kind of get the knack of it, and yeah, you're gangbusters after that. Now, I was showing you this bungee here on the top. Now, the bungee on the top is designed so that you can put stuff on the top here, but luckily, it's also very useful to be able to then get things on the side so that you can pull them in. But on the top, I've just got a pair of gloves. So let's say you're out and about, you're doing some bushcraft, you know you're going to be needed to get your hands wet, or you're going to get dirty, you're going to be, doing stuff with timber, then you've got your gloves on the top and you can get instant access to those. If you're not having your gloves on the top, then you can put whatever you want on here. It's useful for kind of packs, shirts like this, so you can just kind of put them on, get them out of the way. If it starts to raining or the wind picks up again, you can put them, take it out, and then yeah, you're good to go. On the front, you do have a large morale patch section, which is nice. We all like little morale patches. But then underneath here, you have a large pocket. Now, in this pocket, I have a multi-tool. You can put it on the sides here, but I'll explain in a second why I don't have it on the side. Well, actually, I'll explain now. So one, it's quite useful just to have it. It's in there, I know where it is, I can always get access to it. But the way in which this is set up is, so you have a single loop here, you have a single loop at the top, but this bit that I'd want to pass something through is actually a 2-inch one. It's bigger. So the way that the ladder on this works is it's just the wrong set of ladders for it to be able to fit on here. I know why they've done this, because they want this to be a nice big section that you could pass maybe an axe or a knife or something through it. But for this one section here where I was going to put this, it just didn't work for me. But as I say, I prefer not to have things on the side here, because I always get my arm kind of caught on it. So just throwing it into this pocket, having it there and knowing where it is all the time is perfectly fine for me. On the inside there is some organisation in here, so there are 3 pen slots, and then there's a large slot that you could probably fit like a card or something into. Maybe it is that you've got a compass. Oh, I forgot to mention, so in here, if you were using this for a compass, there's a lashing point here at the top, so you can put your compass on some rope, so if you drop it or you're concerned, or maybe you've got some fire starting stuff in here, ferro rod, you can slip it into there. Make sure that it's tied to this, and then hopefully you won't lose it. Fingers crossed you won't lose it, because of course we always do. Then on the bottom you just have some lashing points. I like that the lashing points are on here. If it was maybe you had a larger bottle that didn't fit in the sides, then instead you can lash this to the bottom here. You could put an axe through the bottom here. You could put like a silky saw through here. Again, like most things, you know, the world is your lobster when it comes to what you can do with this. You're only limited by your own imagination on how you would use it. Then I'm kind of passing all of the other, the bit on the outside. You then have a large pocket here. Now this is how I've been using this for some airsoft recently, and I just put my food, I put my snacks, I put reloads, I put all this kind of stuff in here. But opening this up, so some of you may be wondering, although this is designed for bushcraft, I can confirm that this is 100% tactical teddy bear compliant. I've got a picnic bar in here. Let's hear some love in the comments below. Let's hear some love for the humble picnic bar. Always good when you're out walking. I've got a little first aid kit, which again, always good if you're out walking. Now I got this from the last time I'd used this, so I've also got the Leventa, the Helikon-Tex Leventa waterproof in here as well. But it's great, you can just fit in exactly what you need to do for a full day's walk. On the top here, always, I tell you, I've said this before and I'll say it 1,000 times, if you're gonna do YouTube stuff, always keep the labels and keep the labels in it, because when you forget important stuff, the vast majority of information is on the label, and then you don't have to write down half as much either. But anyway, so there is in the top pocket here, there is a mesh pocket that you can put bits into, and then the rest of it, if I open this out, is just a large kind of dump pocket. You can put pretty much whatever you need to, or at least you can put 6 litres worth of something into here. There is also another pocket here on the front, again, if you want to put something in, just to kind of keep something out of the way. Now, the Foxtrot itself is designed to be worn like webbing. It's a hip belt, and the hip belt on this is quite a nice large hip belt. They could have gone, oh well, we'll only put a 1-inch webbing on it, and that would have ruined it. Instead, they did the correct thing and they put a 2-inch webbing on here, which is 50mm. You have this really nice large Woojin buckle, which snaps really nice and loud, which Woojin plastics are awesome. Never had any issues with Woojin plastics. But you put that on, so as we've already seen before, on the wings here that come round, you do have some PALS webbing on here. This one is a double one that goes through. Hopefully you can see that I can fit 3 fingers in. That's what she said. And then there is a single one here, but this part is this double webbing. So as I mentioned before, I can see why they've done this. They wanted this single piece of webbing to go all the way through here to make sure that this was as structurally tough as possible. It does just limit if you wanted to put something through here on how you put it through. If this is the one that you want to slip it under, it won't slip under there. But yeah, so that goes through that side. Same on the other side, you know, what you see on one you see on the other. If there was anything that I could change about this Helikon-Tex, when you're looking at the Foxtrot Mark III, this is a pull back to Titan, and I much prefer pull forward to Titan. That's the only thing that I would change. Other than that, the actual system for this is genuinely really nice. Now, as far as the webbing is concerned, you have the shoulder straps. The shoulder straps are fairly minimalist. The actual weight of this, if you pack this and you put this on properly, the weight of this, 90% of the weight should actually be on your hips. You shouldn't be kind of taking the weight through this harness. It should be completely on your hips. Well, roughly about 90% of it should be on your hips. So when you've got this on, you don't necessarily need this to be super thick and plush and padded, because that's not how it's supposed to go on. It's supposed to sit on your hips, and that's where the weight goes. So what you've got here, you've got some more 50mm webbing. There is a chest sternum strap on here. I am a sternum strap kind of guy. I like to have sternum straps, so I'll always have those on, but you can remove it if you choose to. Some D-rings through here, just in case, you know, you're running some comms with your friends, then you can do. On the back, there is some PALS webbing on here. I'm not really too sure what I'd put on there. I don't think I'd put anything on there, but you could be out, you could be walking in the dark, and you could put some lights on here. You could clip some lights so your friends always know where you are whilst you're out walking. And then you've got the back bits. So as far as how this connects, on the front, because these bits will probably come closest round, but it does come kind of under your armpits more so. You have 2 D-rings here, and then you have 2 D-rings here at the back. You see a lot of these systems where these will split, and you'll have, say, 2 here and 2 here. But again, for this load bearing, it's only 6 litres, and then maybe say a couple of litres worth, so 6 litres in volume, and then a couple of litres worth of water that's with you, so you're not going to be carrying too much. So it doesn't need to kind of spread that load out that much. So from what I've been using it for, these are perfect. The ones on the front, if you want to adjust them, you adjust them exactly the same way as you adjust a backpack. You have a slider here, whereas the ones on your back, you have some hook and loop. Now, what I do like that they've done, and I want to thank Helikon-Tex for doing this. So here on the back, you've got this hook and loop, but every, say, 2 inches or so on the hook and loop, you've got a stitch, and then another stitch, and then there's another stitch, and then this goes all the way down. So when you're trying to get these at just the right height, if I put this where that stitch is now, which is actually roughly where I'd got it, and then I did exactly the same with the others, put that one where that stitch is, it just makes it so easier. So when you're trying to get this so that it fits perfectly, you can make sure that it does just fit right. If you're enjoying the content today and you'd like to support my channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below. If you do choose to do that, I'd like to say a huge thank you and welcome on board into the Moorlander community. Now back to today's content. Now there was one thing that I forgot to mention, and that is that there's a grab handle here in the top. So if you want to take this off and just walk around with it, then of course you can do. These do make good grab bags. For people that are kind of almost a little kind of quasi-preppers. These are great, mainly because you can grab this, throw it on, and then you've got something that's reasonably minimal, but also highly functional. So the grab handle here on the top is pretty big. I have medium to large size hands. They fit in here, no issues whatsoever. Now, once you've got the straps and the harness done, it's locked and loaded. Get some sniper tape if you want to and wrap them around here just to make sure that these don't come off. But because you have the ladder where those stitches are, if you do need to adjust it, then you can adjust it reasonably easily. There is some trial and error, like a lot of these things, whether it's military webbing or whether it's kind of quasi webbing sort of stuff like this. You need to put it on, make sure you test the stuff. put some weight into it, and then see if it's just at the right height. If it's not, take it off. I'd say then reduce the size of the back here, put it back on again, and then if you need to finesse it a little bit, then what you can do is you can use these straps here. So putting it on, it's not particularly difficult. It's no different to like putting on a rucksack. Once you've got a hood there, sternum strap is on, and then you've got your waist belt here, which I have got looped through there by accident. Let's pull this through. So there's your waist strap. Now, as I mentioned, so about 90% of the weight of this is supposed to go through this strap. So if you've got the strap on and you know you've got a bit of flex in there, or you've got a little bit of give in it, then you need to just kind of pull it down a little bit. So the way that I do it is just pull it on there, use these sliders, and then it's on. It's not particularly flattering when you've got it on. It makes you look like you've got a bit of a gut. It's up to you whether you wear it above or below your belt. It depends where your belt sits. Sometimes, depending on the trousers that I've got, I will have it so it sits above my underbelt, my actual belt to my trousers. So yeah, if they sit a bit high, I'll have it underneath. If they sit a bit low, then I'll have it on top. Again, there's quite a bit of just experimenting when you have this to make sure that you have this in the right position. But really, it needs to sit on your hips. So the ilium crest in your hips is that bit at the front. You know, when you see these very skinny women, that you can see the ilium crest. That's these two bones here. It's supposed to sit. It's supposed to sit on that, so that as you walk, you still get full freedom of movement, which I certainly have here. I can turn, I can twist, and it fits great. If I lift these straps, there's very little weight that's being took by these straps, but that means that I can still move forward, I can still lift my arms up, I still get full range of movement whilst I have this on, and it's not moved. It's still in exactly the same position, just above my ilium crest. But because there's a little bit of slack in these, then I can still move. If I hadn't, and there was less weight on the belt and more weight through here, then you'd find that you'd have hot spots, you'd have pinch points, which again is exactly how this is designed. It's meant to be a waist or a hip pack, and it sits with the waist and the actual weight on your waist and hips. After that, you are off. You're out into the wilderness, you're adventuring, you're climbing through shit, you're doing all the stupid stuff that you like to do, because we go out and we adventure, and this is what we do. I mean, yeah, that's what we do, because it's good and it's fun. But what the Foxtrot allows you to do is, rather than taking out a backpack, if you can just take out the essentials, you get some small backpacks. You don't get a lot of 6-litre backpacks, but a lot of the stuff that you've got in there, you can take out, put into this. Just take the essentials out with you. Like I've got here, I've got something in case it gets a bit cold. I've got something in case I injure myself. I've got some food. I've got tactical teddy bear, and I've got plenty of water. A lot of the time, that's really all you need just to go out on an afternoon adventuring, and you know, you're good. If you want to take out a little bit more, you can take a backpack out with this. It's exactly how the military use it. You'll have some belt kit, some webbing, and then you'll have a backpack or you'll have a rucksack with that, and that's why they work perfectly. And as far as belt kit like this is as British comes. The Brits have been using belt kit for hundreds of years when it comes to this sort of stuff. So it feels like it's in my DNA to be able to have this on, even though I have no military experience. I always say this: I have no military experience. I'm just a civilian that likes kind of military gear. I went off on a bit of a ramble with that one, but what it's allowed me is just a little bit more freedom, because with a rucksack you've got that on and you try and climb, but you notice that it's in the way when you're climbing over things. You just don't notice with this. You feel it every now and again if you jump off something, because you get that little bounce right at the bottom of your back, and it kind of where your bum is. It takes 10 minutes for you to get used to that, and then after that you just feel like you're out wearing nothing. But when you need to, you've got your water there. If I need to get a tool, I know that's in the back there. If I need to grab some food, then I've got the zips. I always keep the zips here in the middle, so I can just get the zips. I've got the zips open, get out my bar, eat whatever it is, great. Would I recommend the Foxtrot Mark II? Hell yes. I try not to glaze things too much, but I've genuinely thoroughly enjoyed testing this out. As I mentioned, I've used this for some airsoft stuff, and I've used it for outward day adventuring, and it's been great. So if you're thinking about picking one up, because that's why you're watching this, let's be honest, if you're thinking about picking one up, just do it. Here's another one then, because I know I asked about if anyone's got some Alice experience and with one of these. If you have one of these, let's hear in the comments. Let's hear either way. If you had one of these and it just didn't work for you, you hated it, let's hear. If you have one of these and you're like, yeah, Randy, you've got it, smack bang, bob on right there, mate. These are great. It's good for this. Let's hear. Let's get some dialogue in there to see to hear about why you've enjoyed using this too, and hopefully that will help other people that are looking at this and they're umming and ahhing and just, oh, Randy's been sent some stuff and he bloody loves it again, kind of thing. Now on that note, I was talking to Military First. This was before Christmas, so I've had this now for about three, maybe 4 months. I was talking to them, we're talking about a few other pieces of kit which I'm kind of testing as well, and I mentioned this, they're like, Ran, okay, we'll send you one, we know you love Helikon-Tex. So huge shout out to Military First. They did send this my way. All they're asking, as they usually do, is just for some honest content, and hopefully that's what you've got here today. Military First are awesome. I've worked with them for the last 5 or 6 years. They're great people. They're over just in Manchester, which is just a stone's throw away from here. Yeah, awesome people. So I'll leave some links below so that you can see more from Military First if you want to pick one of these up. I'll leave some links to Helikon-Tex as well. I'm sure there's nothing that I've not missed. Although some people might say, oh, you forgot to mention this bit. So I'll leave some links to Helikon-Tex just in case there was something that I've missed, so that you can see the ins and outs of everything there as well. I'll leave some of my social media links as well, so you can see more from me here on Moorlander EDC and my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical, where I look at more kind of tactical stuff. I have recently released some content on military webbing belt kit, which 2025 was the first year that I started to use that, and I've fallen in love with it. I genuinely really do love it. So I'll leave some of those links below as well. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Chicka 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 chick chicka chick chicka 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 chick chicka chick chicka chick chicka 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 woo woo. You're a dick. Let's hit record. 3 times today whilst moving between locations. I've started talking for at least 30 seconds, and that's when the camera turns off because it goes into standby mode if it's on and I haven't hit the record button within 30 seconds. Again, punch to the testicles. You're an idiot. Depends when this comes out. I'm waffling now. Let's get no fucking dick shit tit nose. Just stop talking bollocks and make some content, you idiot. Bye, good. It got caught on my boobie. I have an international cold. Anyway, massively waffled a little bit there towards the end there, Randy. You need to stop waffling bollocks and just get on with your fucking job, dickhead. Anyway, where was I? Should my thumbnail be like that? I don't know. That's a bit... Anyway. Shimmy, shimmy, ya, shimmy, yay. Singing rap on YouTube will get me in trouble. Not because it's cultural appropriation, but because I'm terrible at rapping. Anyway. Where was I? Oh, these things keep coming undone. Well, I keep pulling them undone, that's what happens. Anyway, shut up. No, I think this is coming. I think this is a midweek one. I'm catching up because I was in Germany last week, so I'm catching up on stuff. So I think this might be. It feels like a midweek one. So anyway, whatever day of the week it is, I hope you're all good. Hope you're all having an awesome week. I hope you've got a weekend of adventuring planned ahead of you. And of course, I'll see you all soon. Love you lots. Okay, you can go now. Bye-bye.